everybody, it's Carl Brown for GuitarLessons365.com. Today we're going to take a look at Eric Johnson style pedal tones. Now, what makes his pedal tones a little bit different is he chooses usually not to do tones on the same string. So there's a lot of hybrid picking involved with his playing. So as the standard player who does this kind of style like Yngwie would keep it on one string and just kind of go down the scale, Eric Johnson tends to like to have that top tone. If you don't know what a pedal tone is, it is just basically the same tone repeated like a high melody tone, and then you keep going down into a note across a scale or across an arpeggio, and then continually go back to that top note. So we would say pick this high E string, 12th fret, and then come down to another note in the scale or another arpeggio note, then you'll go straight back to the note we started with, then go to another note in the key, then back up, so we're always going back to this top note, and it gives it kind of a harmonic foundation to the lick because that kind of supplies like a root tone or a bass note of a chord. So what Eric Johnson likes to do is he'll sometimes do scale work underneath the pedal tone, but what he really likes to do is do arpeggios across strings or just chord shapes. If you can look at this first one, if you download the tab that goes along with this lesson, you'll see the link to the tab in the video's description. We're going to basically be having this top high E note, but what we're going to do is we're going to descend that's basically a B major chord. And then we're going to go back up with an A major chord. And that will work over it sounds great underneath that high E note. Okay? So what I'm doing with the picking is it's a pretty simple hybrid picking pattern. The note that is going to be the top note, the pedal tone, will always be picked with your middle finger. Okay? And then all the other notes, the ones that are actually moving around, will always be picked with a downstroke with your pick. So that's how he picks these things. So let's look at the lick that we did at the beginning. We're going to have start with the high E note with your middle finger picking it. Then you're going to pick the 16th fret on the B string, back to the high E, then the 16th fret on the G, then back to the high E, then the 16th fret on the D string. Then we're going to go back up with 14 on the D, then 14 on the G, and 14 on the B. Remember, we're always doing that high 12th fret there in between each one of those notes. Then we're going to go back to the 16th fret here on the B string. Just do two of the strings, the B string down to the G string. And then we're going to go to this 14th fret. And we're going to start a new pedal tone on the D note here on the B string at the 15th fret with your pinky. So far we have this. So that was a transition into a different pedal tone. Now we're going to have this D note on the B string, always in the bass. We're starting with that down on the 14th fret on the G string to that 15th fret on the B, then 12 on the G. This time we're kind of just going through a scale. 12th fret on the G, back to that D note, 11th on the G, back to the D. Then we're going to, so basically the melody note, just so you'll see right here. So we basically had just 14, 12, 11 on the G, then 14, 12 on the D, back to 14 on the D, 11 on the G, 12 on the G. Okay, now we go to our next pedal tone. We're going to go down to the C note that is on the B string. So that's going to be the melody notes, so that note's never going to change, always going to be picked at the 13th fret on the B string with your middle finger. We're just going to learn the notes that we're going to be doing that's going to be changing underneath it, which is going to 14, 12, 14, 16, back to 14, 12. That's all in the G string. 14, 12, 14, 16, 14, 12. Then to 16, 14 on the D. Now you see how I'm kind of lifting the notes up each time. You want to get some separation of the notes, because if you let them ring together, they kind of sound really dissonant, especially with the distortion. Now, when you do place the hyperpick note, the middle finger, it will mute that note. So that will create some separation, but sometimes it's not enough. It's going to cause some ringing between the notes. So it's good to practice lifting those fingers every time, each one of them. Okay, so after that one, then we're going to do it with our last pedal tone here, which is going to be the 12th fret on the B string. So that's after getting to here. We're going to go 16 to 12. So we got then 14, 13. That's all in the D string. You got to keep that top B note with your first finger, so you got to do these with your pinky, ring, and middle. Then do the same notes, but on the G string. You go 16, 14 on the D. Then back to the 16 on the D, go 16, 14, 13 on the D. Come all the way down to the 5th string, the 16th fret on the A string, to and ended on the 14th fret on the A. So the whole thing really slow. Okay, so this is a fun technique to mess around with, and you can just basically work pedal tones off of any tone in the key that you want to work from, and it's a really melodic, really nice way. It kind of stands out when you throw it into an improvisation or a lick, and it's really easy to kind of come up with your own little patterns that you like to do underneath the pedal tone, be it just like how we went down in those triads. Eric Johnson just uses a few different patterns, and they work every time. You'll hear this a lot in Cliffs of Dover, the intro to Cliffs of Dover, this technique at the very end of the intro. So, I mean, these things are really a great thing, a great tool to use, and they have this harmonic quality about them that will work in just about any style of soloing. Okay, so please go to guitarlessons365.com. Let me know what kind of lessons you would like to see. Like the videos, comment on them, and support the site in any way you can. All right, I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.